Talk some Bazzana after a quick word from Game Time. We've all been there, logging on early, waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show that you've been dying to see. Live music shouldn't be about making memories. It should be about making memories, not about the stress of dealing with ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. The prices drop. The closer it gets to showtime, you can actually save 60% with killer last-minute deals. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. We'll get to Herm once he joins us, Jay. But first, since Travis Bazzana has returned from the injured list, have you seen his stats?
Yeah.
Sitting 341, has a homer, 8 ribbies, a 943 OPS, and he is looking every bit the part of the prospect the Guardians thought they were getting when they took him number 1 overall. Now, granted, it's Double-A Akron.
It's a small sample size, too.
And it's a small sample size, but he was struggling prior to the injury. Jay, how promising is it to see the Guardians' top prospect performing like this since returning from the IL?
Well, I'll tell you more than anything, it's psychological. Because the talk about Travis Bazzana has always been he doesn't play a premium position, yet he was the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So that puts added pressure on him to be a major league contributor in a relatively short period of time. What also hasn't helped Travis Bazzana's case is the 3 guys drafted after him are already at the big league level making an impact. Like Caglione has been, he hasn't been what everybody thought he was going to be. But here's the thing. You got to cut teeth before you can cut meat with those teeth. He's cutting his teeth right now. The arc that Travis Bazzana was on 6 weeks ago was tragic.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have an overwhelmingly great rookie season. He struggled. And then he got hurt. And then, so now we're saying, oh my God, what did we do? We had the number, it's the first time, I think, in team history that they ever had the number 1 overall draft pick. And we took a non-premium position player at second base, and his numbers were mid. But if nothing else, it helps stop the narrative that the guards may have really screwed this up because he's not at a premium position, and guys that were drafted after him, particularly one, is having a huge impact. So I just think it gets the narrative going in the right direction. And I would absolutely elevate him to Columbus immediately. I've seen enough of him in Double-A.
That was the other question. It's time. I mean,
get him up to Columbus.
What else can he prove in Double-A?
You know why?
Let's see in Triple-A.
Get him up to Columbus, and he's got a month to play before the IL season goes to their playoffs. I think they start their playoffs in September. So if you can call him up to Columbus, and he hits the ball well at Columbus, now he is an option for you if you need a guy. Or you want to get him a little bit of major league experience in the month of September if he does well in the month at Columbus.
Can you tell me? So he's a second baseman. Because somebody asked me this, I said, I'm gonna ask the baseball guys when I get back in. They said, "Well, what does he do?" Like, I said, "What do you mean? What does he do?" They're like, "Is he a power hitter?" And I said, "No, not necessarily." They're like, "Is he like a Gold Glove second baseman?" I said, "Not necessarily." They're like, "Is he like fast or is he still a bunch of?" I'm like, not really. Is he a guy that's going to hit 320? He
could be. So I think of all the tools, Jay. That's the one thing that they think he could be a high average guy.
What is when they drafted him 1 overall? Usually, number 1 picks have one thing. You'd be like, "That's why I'm drafting you." For those that don't know, or those that may only know that he was the number 1 pick, what is it the Guardians saw and made him number 1?
I think he's got power. I don't know he's going to hit 40 home runs, but I think he's got unusual power for a second baseman.
Is Carlos Baerga as a comp unrealistic? Because that's who I come up with. I keep saying if he ends up being Carlos Baerga, I think that's a great pick.
I mean, it's such a different game. Carlos was in his prime, was good for 200 hits. 20 home runs, 85, 90 RBIs.
That would be it.
Yeah, I mean,
if we got that out of him,
I think he might have had a couple hundred RBI seasons. I don't remember now.
Well, in that lineup, I mean, everybody was on base a lot.
Is he Chuck Knobloch? Is he Roberto Alomar?
He's got more pop than Knobloch. Knobloch was a speed guy. gap
And he was
guy.
a high average guy, too.
Yeah, I mean, nobody hits for high average. It's so weird in baseball. I mean, if he hits for 280, you'd be ecstatic with that.
That's
Wow.
the new 300.
It's Stephen Kwan, if he can hit 285, 290, you know.
Viagra had 200 ribby seasons,
Okay.
by the way.
So he does have power for a second baseman. Keith Law, who does prospects for us, is not high on. He's never liked Bazzana. Doesn't like his hips. Doesn't like his swing. Thinks his swing is too
Steep.
Yeah. So we'll see. I wonder. I'm always curious how much the Jimenez contract played into that pick, because knowing that they could get off Jimmy's future money if they took him, and could plug him in at second base, and have something productive there.
Because that's kind of odd. Like, it's almost like I can't compare it. Like, if I'm looking at, like, baseball, he's a second baseman. Like, if you took, I'm just think about it. It's like taking, like, a linebacker, #1 overall. Or, like, you took a linebacker.
It's a non-premium position.
Yeah.
Part of the issue with it wasn't a draft with a clear-cut guy.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 6 or 7 guys who you look at and think could be pretty good.
And
And
finances played into this, too.
Oh, they always
Signability.
do.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But if there's at the time, Spencer Torkelson was a clear #1 pick. He was going #1.
Yeah.
So that was an easy call.
Right.
Steven Strasburg was an easy call as the #1 pick. There wasn't that guy in this draft,
Yeah.
so they had like 6 or 7 guys that had some flaws that you had to pick from.
boy, if we could only go back and do it over again, know what we know now.
Nick Kurtz. Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. It's unbelievable. That guy's with the season he's putting together.
That's a
Unreal.
discussion